What's good, YouTube? It's Aquarius, Leviathan Prophecy, and today I'm gonna be talking about my top five teams of the early 2000 basketball NBA version. Now, I didn't write nothing down in particular because I can really think. I mean, I can think of five teams off the top of my head. In no, okay, in 1 through 5, I can basically say, who was my favorite, not the what team that I liked, but obviously that was my favorite. So here we go. At starting at number 5, my my I mean, the team that I like the most in the NBA around 2000 was the 2000 and damn. All right, hold on. Let me piggyback. All right. So all right. So number 5. My favorite team of the early 2000s was the Pacers with Reggie Miller, um, and Jermaine O'Neal. The reason why is because that team was just great defensively and offensively, and of course they had obviously Reggie Miller at the time, and they had that malice from the Palace incident, which didn't really benefit them that much, but like it gave them some type of you know insurance policy, if you want to call that. Uh, so number 5, obviously, the Indiana Pacers. Number 4 would be the 2004 Toronto Raptors with Chris Bosh. I think Chris Bosh. I think Chris Bosh, with the Raptors at the time, they were a pretty good, squad. Didn't really go that far in the playoffs. But the time that he was there, he he put in work, and if Chris Bosh had like a second superstar on that team, I think that team would have probably gone far, as most teams are now, with just one or two superstars. So yeah, number three, number three would be the 2001 Nets with Jason Kidd and Kenyon Martin. I think with that team, obviously, like I said again, with the Raptors, great talent, but they didn't get far enough, because they didn't have a lot of chemistry. The chemistry was off so many times, so they didn't really, get to the, promised land that they, wanted. But obviously, Jason Kidd wind up, to be one of the, greatest point guards, probably at number 5, 6 of all time. Obviously, winning one championship, while Steve Nash didn't win nothing, and that comes to number, what was that, number 3? Let's see, 5, 4, 3. Okay, that comes to number 2. My second favorite team of the early 2000s was the 2004 Phoenix Suns with Steve Nash and Stoudemire, Amari Stoudemire. Great talent. Kind of remind me of, Utah Jazz, Stockton and Malone, 2.0, like just great talent. You had a great, supporting cast around you, just didn't go far, you know. I think the Lakers stopped you numerous of times of getting into the play. I mean, you got into the playoffs, but, you didn't really go far as expected. Um, so, yeah. And my number one team of the early 2000s is the 2000 and 2000 and I'll probably say 2002 76ers with Allen Iverson. I mean, you couldn't write a perfect story about Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? It's not the tallest point guard, but the shortest point guard, but had a lot of heart. Iverson was, everything to basketball. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, there was a soul in the NFL that resembles Allen Iverson. Obviously, Michael Vick with the cornrows and, but other than that, Michael Vick could only, affect one side of the ball, and that's offense. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really. Yeah, I mean, Michael Vick was fun to watch, no doubt about it. But just as a pure talent, what I'm saying, Iverson, stole the show every single night. You know what I'm saying? That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to play his tail off. You know, he wanted to play his tail off every single night. You know what I'm saying? So to me, he will always go down as number one, as the top dude who dominated 2 decades, you know what I'm saying? The 90s and the early 2000s. But like he'll tell you, he'll tell you way way better than I did. I mean, it was just a bad rap for him. Um, when he got released from the Sixers, he just fell off. He tried to team up with Carmelo Anthony, it didn't work. He went to the Pistons, Grizzlies, um, Pistons, Grizzlies, and he tried to go over to China, but obviously, he was dealing with an injury, so he didn't really wind up going. He went back to the NBA, signed like a 1 year deal with the Sixers, and then obviously called it a career. Hung up his jersey, never to be worn again, and that was the last time we saw Iverson. But obviously, he does play big three occasionally, but so. Yeah, I know. I mean, I noticed y'all. I noticed y'all. I noticed that I left out the Lakers. To me, I never liked the Lakers. I hate the Lakers with a passion. Even when they had Shaq and Kobe. I wasn't really a Lakers guy. Um, But there's no denying their talent. They. I mean, you had a young shot. I mean, you had a young, you know, Kobe, and then you had a veteran, Shaq. So for them to repeat, try to three-peat, but they couldn't obviously because they ran into the Pistons. Um, I think they fell short of their goal. That's why I never, put them in my top five of greatest team of the I mean my top five teams of the early 2000s. So if I left out the LA Lakers, then I mean like I said. So at number five, um, I had the Pacers. At number four, I had The Nets. At number 4, I had the Nets. Number 3, I had the Suns. Number 2, who I had number 2? Um, Damn it, I forgot who the fuck I had number 2. I'm trying to think. Fuck, man, I'm trying to think. Who the fuck I had number 2? Oh yeah, the Nets, and then number 1 I had obviously the Sixers. So, yeah, those are my teams of the early 2000s. Y'all can let me know who was your favorite teams of the early 2000s, or if I left your team out. I mean, I my bad, but I mean, obviously, I mean, yeah. So I left out the Lake Show because they fell short of their goal. Just because they fell short of their goal. They was trying to two-peat, they did that. They was trying to three-peat, but obviously they ran into a great defense of the Pistons. So, I mean, and that's when, years later, like 2 years later, Shaq left to go to Heat, won championship there. And then, after that, he's just been bouncing around teams. And then obviously his body couldn't take it no more. And obviously he retired with the Celtics, I believe. So, yeah. So, there's a lot of great teams of the early 2000s, that, a lot of people slept on, the Hawks was one of them, Johnson and Culver, and you know what I'm saying? And there was like a lot of great teams in the early 2000s. So leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.